What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. My name is Mike. Joining us again is my sister Jenny.
Hey, guys.
So, Mandalorian Season 3 started off last week. Really enjoyed it. It was definitely like an introductory episode where we just kind of got to get a few reminders of where we are in case you needed some reminding. But basically, like, they just kind of like initiated a bunch of different storylines. We didn't actually see anything crazy. There was a lot of fun Easter eggs. But for the most part, I think the season can kind of hit the ground running now because we've kind of got everything rolling. We left the episode off at the end last week. He goes to see Bo-Katan thinking that she still wants to maybe help him with the whole Mandalore situation. Turns out Bo-Katan is all salty and kind of just
She's depressed in her castle.
So Din Djarin's like, all right, whatever, do your thing. I'm going to go to Mandalore and, finders keepers if I find anything cool. So this episode actually says that they're going to Mandalore. They're going to the mines of Mandalore, and pleasant surprise, 42 minutes it says. So that's closer to what we wanted. That was our one main complaint last week. Was like, just wish it was a little bit longer. Yeah. But we don't bite off more than we can chew, and I think they're going to give us some meat.
I'm surprised actually that they're going to Mandalore this quickly.
Yeah, actually, I actually thought it was going to be later on.
I thought the whole drive of the whole season was going to be leading up to that. So this is a surprise, but a pleasant one.
Quickly before we get started, one other thing that you and I were mentioning was that in Book of Boba Fett, if you haven't seen it, don't want to spoil too much, there are 2 episodes which are essentially Mandalorian season 2.5, and they are a very much sort of a standalone Mandalorian section of that series. It's entirely possible, since the Ahsoka series is coming out later this year, that we might see some pretty specific...
Like a backdoor pilot type
backdoor pilot for the Ahsoka series. Ahsoka. And we were just mentioning it's a character like Sabine Wren, who is a Mandalorian and is going to be integral to that storyline, is a character that I would not be surprised at all that if we meet maybe even pretty soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, just a thought before we get into it, guys. Really excited to do it. We're going to jump in and have some fun, and we'll talk about it afterward. Let's do it.
The songs of eons past foretold of the mythosaur rising up to herald a new age of
We're going to see a
Mandalore.
mythosaur.
Would love to see a mythosaur. Is this Mos Eisley, Mos Espa? Nice, it's a race. Kelly!
Well, I don't appreciate the tone of voice, but I'll fix it. You gotta give me half up front for parts. I do have a life. Big holiday. I have big plans. I just don't sit around here and work all day. I'm very popular.
She's got a hot Jawa date.
She dated a Jawa.
Yeah.
Hey, tell the Jawas the Rodian left. Oh, put those parts back on the speeder. Paint them so they look different.
She's running a racket.
Oh, okay.
She's running a racket with the Jawas. They strip the thing, and then they have him come in and pay her.
Where's my guy? There he is! Woo-hoo-hoo!
That was a fancy trick.
Was that his first word? I think he's talking to me. Did you hear that? He said Pelly.
I'm going to Mandalore. I need a droid that can explore ahead of me and test the atmosphere. Make sure it's safe.
He's shaking with fear. No thanks.
This R5 astromech is
R5
built for
D4,
adventure. You're supposed to be piloting starfighters across the galaxy and fighting tyranny. R5D4 is as good as a day came back from serving in the rebellion. And I'll reinstall your droid port, and this little baby here can even co-pilot.
R5 is going to be Mando's astromech now? Nice!
Oh, come
Cool.
on now. Don't be a coward. You're an astromech. Act like one.
It's an original Star Wars character.
Yeah.
May the Force be with you!
Cool. Bunta Eve fireworks.
All right, kid. You ready for an adventure?
We are. Pelly's really gotten her time on this show, man.
Yeah, she has. And on the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
It's Mandalore, the homeworld of our people. Every Mandalorian can trace their roots back to this planet. I've never been there either. I grew up there, on that moon, Concordia.
Mmm.
And that's Kalevala, where we visited Bo-Katan. A Mandalorian has to understand maps and know their way around. That way, you'll never be lost.
Oh, wow. Wow, dude.
Potentially poisonous atmosphere here.
Wow.
Looks like the fusion bombs from the Purge disrupted the magnetic field around the planet. From the surface, we won't be able to communicate with anyone out of atmosphere.
Convenient. Everything's been turned to glass.
Real wasteland.
Yeah.
You can watch him on the scope. Come in, do you read me?
Oh no.
It's probably just interference.
No, probably not.
I was hoping to avoid going out there. I'll pressurize my helmet, seal yourself in your pod. Be right back. Don't worry, kid. I'll be right back.
Never say
Famous
that.
last words.
You never say that. Well. Haven't you ever seen the movie Scream? Come on.
There's a whole like underground infrastructure here. What the?
Okay, so there's creatures living here.
Yeah, some.
They look like predators or something almost. Oh my goodness.
Okay, there's a better look.
Yeah, they're just like cave trolls basically. It's
Yeah.
nothing to it.
Ooh, long drop.
You got an analysis on the atmosphere yet? The charts were wrong.
It's breathable.
The atmosphere is breathable. Bo-Katan was right. Mandalore is not cursed.
Jetpack
I love how the egg
action,
can just sort
nice.
of like float on its
Levitate
own.
all the way down. Underground.
I want to know why they re-showed that mythosaur line. I want to see a mythosaur.
Is that like a net?
No, it was like a giant hand. Yeah, that's definitely...
What the?
Or it's a mechanical... Yeah. Okay.
Some kind of mining machine or like
Grogu gonna have to save Din.
use the force?
Oh, there's actually an...
Somebody driving it.
No, yeah, it was like a creature, like a...
Whoa now. It's a spider creature driving a spider droid.
Oh my goodness, it kind of reminds me of General Grievous with his like spider arms, part robot, part creature.
Hustle, little guy, hustle.
Here I'm like panting. Oh.
Get to Bo-Katan.
Oh my god. Let's go.
He flipped right into his little egg.
Oh my god, he's going so fast. Oh my goodness. It's just Grogu. He's just gonna... Yeah. Yeah. He's like, excuse me?
Take that, Predator.
I mean, and he's off.
It's like his new thing, the flip.
Oh, he pointed to the Bo-Katan planet.
Oh my god, Grogu's gonna drive the N1?
Well, autopilot. He's got R5 to drive the...
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can co-pilot.
She'll see this ship and be like, I don't want to talk to him.
Let's get rid of him once and for all. I want to be left alone. What happened to him?
So we're gonna get Bo-Katan's involvement right away. So they left the N1 back on Kalevala.
Okay, kid. I'm gonna need you to guide me to him. Can you do that?
He's like, come on. Who do you think I am? Nice. All right, man, let's go. You already took out the baddies at the entrance.
I knew quite a few Jedi, you know. I don't know what they taught you about us, but there was a time we actually got along quite well. Fought, side by side.
Okay.
This colony of cave trolls is having a bad day. Whoa! Sick.
Oh,
Did
shit.
you think your dad was the only Mandalorian?
That's classic.
Those are Alamites, and we were their next meal.
She even
Alamites.
knows what they are.
Okay.
So they must be indigenous to the planet. Okay.
If they survived, I wonder what else might have to.
That is a little bit of a Jules Verne time machine, kind of like the underground people that are...
H.G. Wells' time machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, the Morlock and the
Yeah.
the Eloy.
Is he just torturing Din?
Spit roasting him?
Oh, he's like taking his blood?
Bleeding him?
Oh,
Dang.
creepy. Yikes. Come on, Bo. Darksaber. Let's go. See how much better she is with it than Din?
Yeah, she already knows how to use it.
Yeah. It didn't look heavy for her at all, like it
No.
does for everyone
Are
else.
you okay? It's Bo-Katan. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Can you move at all?
Behind you.
Nice.
Look at her flashing that thing
Yeah.
around.
Okay. I think that's the like. Come on, what else do you need? More do you need to see to know that like
That she's destined to
that
hold
weapon
that
belongs
thing.
with her? Yeah.
What happened?
I saved your life.
How did you find me?
You're a kid. I honestly think that it's adorable that you actually believe these children's stories. There's nothing magic about the waters.
You rescued me, and I'll always be in your debt. But I can't go with you until I fulfill my obligation
I will take you.
Good.
to the living waters.
You'd never find them on your own.
We want this team up anyway.
Yeah.
The mines have been here for thousands of years. The living waters are in the chambers below.
Have you been there?
Yes, when I was a child, I took the creed and was showered with gifts, but the rituals were all just theater for our subjects. They loved watching the princess recite the Mandalorian tenets as her father looked on proudly.
Maybe he was proud.
I know he was.
I would have liked to have known him.
He was a great man. He died defending Mandalore.
This is the way.
Literally.
Respect.
What are you looking at? Here you go. The living waters. According to ancient folklore, the mines were once a mythosaur lair. Mandalore the Great is said to have tamed the mythical beast. It is from these legends that the skull signet was adopted and became the symbol of our planet.
There has to be a mythosaur to tame.
I mean, they
You
keep
can't
mentioning it. They
tease
keep bringing
that
it
like that,
up
yeah.
again and again.
He's like, so do I just jump in? How does this work exactly? It can't be this
And I
easy.
shall walk the way of the Mandalore. Shall be forever forged in my heart.
Yep. Yo. Bro. She's just going towards the light. Okay. What the?
Oh,
That's a mythosaur.
it's a mythosaur.
Yep. It has the horns.
Bro.
Did you see how big that thing was, yo?
Ginormous.
So now Bo knows it's real now. She knows it's not actually like just a fairy
A
tale.
legend, yeah.
So she's a believer. Nice. Okay,
Is that why
cool.
they're living waters? Because something lives in them?
Yeah. Well, he's a Mandalorian again now. You can't say he
Yeah.
didn't take a bath.
He took a real bath.
Definitely took a bath.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's funny is I was prepared to like have that episode end and have the first thing I say be like, you know what? That episode didn't really go the way I wanted it to. It was like long and slow paced and like they didn't use the pacing very well. Like it just
Right.
kind of like I was like, come on, pace. But like that ending, that was a payoff.
Big reveal at the end right there.
Yeah, so I was actually about to lose my patience with the episode when that payoff just made it all worth it. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't care that it took 40 minutes to get to that because
Yeah.
it may be a tease that we were like, because we were even like, they can't just keep in the preview for the episode at the beginning, the recap, they have the first thing they say is mythosaur.
Yeah.
And you and I are like, you can't
One thing
tease
I
it like
find
that and then.
really interesting about this, not the mythosaur specifically, but about the fact that they went to Mandalore this quickly, that he got his bath in the living waters this quickly.
Yeah.
I really thought that the main quest of the season,
The whole season was going to be what just happened.
was
yeah.
going to be what just happened.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've taken care of it this quickly is another way that they're kind of calling into question everybody's beliefs, not just Din Djarin's, but Bo-Katan's at this point.
Yeah.
Both of them have had their beliefs questioned by each other, and they're actually kind of like learning from each other about the validity of both of their points of view.
Yeah.
Because, he said, Bo-Katan was right. This place isn't cursed. But then she knows that the mythosaur is real now. So they're both having to adapt to like the circumstances they're experiencing.
Questioning
which
their
is
own
really
beliefs.
interesting. Yeah.
Like he, in season 2, maybe even a little bit, is forced to question the zealotry of his team.
Right,
And she's
exactly.
forced to question some of her preconceived
her
notions
notions
of how everything
as
works.
well.
And that's all, that all comes together like
Yeah.
that. And that's, so it's great that they teased the mythosaur and it didn't make it like so obvious, but it was very much like, okay, they have to show
They're
us.
mentioning it this many times, it's going to show up.
Yeah, and right now I'm almost like, is it more relevant as like, oh, now we're gonna get a mythosaur and he's gonna write it and like he's gonna be the new Mandalore and it's gonna be Din Djarin writing a mythosaur, or is it more just important that it exists and Bo-Katan saw it?
Right.
And it's more sort of like, okay, now they can go like team up and like actually
yeah,
try
they're
to like
definitely a
reclaim
team
Mandalore.
now, which is cool.
The other really awesome part was like last week I mentioned I was like, Bo-Katan's indifferent, but like at the end of the day, she's kind of like that person, like she's not a bad guy. You want to see her with a darksaber because like Sabine Wren gave it to her, and like you don't want to see her fail, and that she feels like a failure in that regard. But seeing her instantly pick up that darksaber and just like swing it around like it weighed nothing.
Yeah.
When we've specifically
She was
seen
clearly an expert with that thing.
Paz Vizsla, when he tried to pick it up, even he was like,
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
a big
Din
dude.
Djarin- yeah, and we got that whole speech from the armorer about like, you have to know how to use this weapon. You can't fight against it. You have to let it,
Yeah.
You could clearly see that they were showing Bo-Katan knew what she was doing with that weapon, and that it just very clearly belongs with her more than it belongs with somebody like Din, who's struggling to use it, doesn't really even want the responsibility that comes with it in the first place, kind of thing. But we don't know. That might end up being like a rift between them at some point. Maybe he does want it. Maybe she wants. Maybe she's gonna start being like, "Oh, I see the Mythosaur now, and this I'm gonna get back on track with wanting to make this happen again. So at the end of the day, I think Bo-Katan is like, she's a good guy, and we like, this is a good thing. This is all a good thing.
Team up for sure.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned H.G. Wells, which also sprung right to my mind when we first encountered the cave troll. It was like, oh, it's like the Morlock people.
Yeah.
That was a clear reference point. One thing that I thought was really interesting and actually kind of like relatable about this episode was that there's all this wildlife living on this ruined planet. Like they thought it was poison.
Yeah, we saw like 4 or 5 different species.
They thought that like nothing could live there, and there were multiple animals living down here. And on Earth, like in real life, in toxic environments, wildlife often thrives.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Chernobyl, it's like a deer park now.
Yeah.
There are colonies of starlings living inside the ruined reactors.
Yeah.
Or if you go to like Salton Sea, there's actually like a pelican preserve there, and the pelicans are thriving. They're doing so well.
Yeah.
And these are environments that are toxic to humans.
Well, we just determined now that it isn't toxic anymore.
Right. It's got breathable atmosphere. But I actually found that like, again, like from an animal behavior kind of point of view, or like an animal physiology kind of point of view, I found that very realistic.
Yeah. You know what else, though, is that, like I said, it was reminding me, I'm sure it reminded a lot of other people, too, of General Grievous, that spider droid that was, like, part organic, part droid. You could tell it had, like, some portion of an organic being inside of it. Like, it had an eyeball.
It had, like, mechanical legs and stuff.
Yeah, so it was, like, a creature that had, like, preserved its life through, being, like, just like General Grievous. And it was very similar in that way. And they even showed it, like, escaping at the end then, like, in a way, like, this is going to come back again.
Yeah.
To haunt us in some way. But I'm not quite sure how I felt about that whole, it captured Din, and I think this is where I was mentioning that, like, the pace of the episode was kind of starting to annoy me, because it was, like, they spent all this time, like, they got there's a lot of just sort of, like, descending into the mine, and then, he gets trapped, Grogu has to go back up, get Bo-Katan, she comes back again, descend into the mine slowly again, and I was like, okay, pacing issues here, they got nothing's happening, and they're spending half an hour doing it. And like I said, though, that resolved itself.
Dark episode visually. Like there was not a lot of light in this episode.
Yeah. So yeah, I was actually prepared to give a criticism right out of the gate there, but I that criticism was rendered null by that mythosaur scene. And I've just got to say, I mean, like, that mythosaur looked great. You barely saw any of it, but you could tell that there was like the horn coming off of it,
and you could see the scale of it. You could see how huge it is.
Yeah. Wow. Can't wait to see more. I mean, we've already seen a crate dragon, which was a huge, amazing, like, that was amazing. But, this looks like it'd be even bigger.
Even bigger.
Even bigger, even crazier.
We've seen some large creatures on this show,
I hope we do get to see the whole thing. It'll be fun if we can actually, I mean, considering that they're, like, teasing it from the beginning with Queel mentioning it in season 1, and then they re-mention it again here, and now we finally get our eyes on it, is it gonna eventually be the, like I said, Din Djarin riding the mythosaur, reclaiming Mandalore?
We got to see Boba Fett riding a Rancor. Why not see Din Djarin riding a mythosaur,
Yeah, fun. A couple other things, like, they got briefly we went to Mos Espa and saw Peli. Like, it's good that she's obviously a recurring character. Like you mentioned, not just in this show, she's in Book of Boba Fett in those Mando episodes. She's clearly, like, one of Mandalorians, like, since we don't have Cara Dune anymore.
She's one of his key allies.
And even Greef Karga being his ally, they clearly still show Greef Karga has his own interest in mind at the end of the day. He's not really a team player.
Right.
He's just kind of, like, in your corner a little bit. Cara Dune was and Boba Fett and Fennec Shand were the 3, like, I trust these people to, like, help me, and Cara Dune's not here anymore, so it's like, I mean, now we have Bo-Katan, but obviously they've reinforced Peli as the, like, she's running her racket, like, she's not an honest person, but she's a good guy through and through in terms of, her relationship with Mando.
And she comes through for him every time.
Exactly, yeah. Fun, man, fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna be, like I said, like, they showed that little creature running away, like the General Grievous type thing. It's like, are we going to be in the mines of Mandalore, like, doing this mythosaur thing with Bo-Katan? Like, who knows? I mean, I had been mentioning earlier that I wanted, like, we had seen the Purrgil, and I'd like to get, like, a backdoor Ahsoka series episode this season where we maybe even meet Sabine Wren and, get a head start on, like you said, a backdoor pilot for that in the same way they did in Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, like you were mentioning, we were expecting this mythosaur mines baiting in the water stuff to happen
over the course of the whole
maybe
season.
earliest, like
But,
halfway through the season. But now we've got,
this
like
throws
we said,
everything
he
into
took a bath.
question.
He clearly got wet there. Like I don't know how much more of a bath he needs to take, and the waters were definitely living. So like, I don't think the armorer has any reason to doubt his status as a Mandalorian anymore. By the way, loved that line the Bo-Katan threw out where she was. You didn't think your dad was the only Mandalorian, right?
That was great.
She just definitely threw down with the darksaber. Yeah. So, I like I said, was prepared to criticize, but now I'm gonna be like, yeah, I loved the episode because it got where it needed to go. The pacing off because it got where it needed to go very quickly in the very last couple of minutes. So, like, I feel like a lot of that, ironically, episode could have been shorter.
Yeah,
Can't believe I'm saying
I know.
that. They could have just like cut out.
Last week we were so like, I wish it had been a little longer, and this week I agree they could have cut
5 minutes
off
yeah.
that episode easily.
Like because the pacing was the only thing that was getting to me there, and yeah, I continue to just love the show in general. Grogu we can see little hints of him evolving still, like he's starting to. It's not just him cooing anymore. He's making little babbling noises.
Sort of
Pelly was even like, did he say
something?
Yeah, so like. And you even mentioned Dave Filoni hinted that Grogu was going to be talking at some point.
I think I read that, yeah. And
whether or not he meant that, or specifically
he's beginning to
gonna
vocalize in new ways that he hasn't before.
Yeah,
so.
I hope it's not something very silly and generic, like "Dada," you know,
right.
like. But I do enjoy the whole like how Bo refers to him as like your kid,
right?
Or it's just like everybody refers to it as Din's kid, like that's your son.
That is his son.
Yeah, I love their relationship. Anyway, guys, I don't want to be like, oh, it's such a fun episode, but it had a very fun ending, and that's definitely extremely significant. So can't wait to move in further into the season and see how this develops, and it's I just love it, guys. So let us know what you thought about it in the comments below, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Fully unedited reactions are on patreon.com/JediJive. Go check it out. See you in the next reaction.
Peace.